Hello students, welcome to e-learning. We are learning chapter 5, cost of production and concept of revenue. We have already completed first lecture, that is introduction. Today we are going to learn about various concepts of cost. As I told you, various concepts of cost. So there are three types of cost we can say, that is real cost, second is opportunity cost, and third is monetary cost. So we are going to start today with the real cost. So let's start with our second lecture, that is real cost. So what do you mean by the real cost? The word real means what? Real means actual, yes. But what does in it means in economics term? So here it tells that this real cost concept is given by the classical or classic economics which were been there. And as per the Marshall, according to Marshall, it is the capitalistic and entrepreneur who involved in process of production bears physical and we can say psychological burden. Means here actually real cost means what? You find that what the cost is being done for making a product. Yes, we know the cost of production, that is all the four factors involved for making a product, and that is becomes the cost of production. But what does the real cost means? Here real cost talks about the what all the tension, anxiety, what all the things where a labor is working in a labor is working in a company. So in his mind, in his what is his skill, in his mind, what all the things which are going on mentally and the psychologically, that factors, on the basis of that he is working there. Apart means all that particular tension, fatigue, everything, apart from that he's working there, you find that still, and then he's making the production where he gets the money only for his what production he's been doing, not for the how much stress or how much thing, how much as physically mentally he is not prepared or anything which has been there in his mind. उसके अलावा भी जो भी दिमाग में चलो, उसके अलावा छोड़ के वो प्रोडक्शन पे ध्यान दे के काम कर रहा है, तो हम सिर्फ क्या गिनते हैं? कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन गिनते हैं. लेकिन रियल कॉस्ट यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं? इट इज़ अ कॉन्सेप्ट where the entrepreneur, the laborer who are there working for production process, they have certain different tension, everything. Tension is there, fatigue is there, then after you find that physical burdens are there. All that particular comes under real cost. Again further it talks about like a laborer having many burdens. Agar ek producer such burden, one many producers, such burdens are there, we can say, not for one only one producer but many producers are there having that. The production cost के अंदर the things which are not included, that is fatigue. That is, what is fatigue? Boredom, or we can say cantado away. Like fatigue and boredom is then that you don't want to do but still you are doing because it's a job. So laborers are doing because just for earning purpose, there is not their own skill. So that time you find that this particular thing. Then after tensions, under what pressure, under what tension they are doing, that is not been there. Then you find that capitalistic who sacrifice their saving. What is do you mean by capitalistic? Capitalistic nothing but we can say those person who are the investors, or they are the individual owners of the company. So they are known as what? Private owners or private individuals who own their company or manufacturing, they are known as what? Capitalistic. So those person at what situation or what point of time, how much money they have saved, and that money has been invested in the business. So that person, that particular person also have certain tension, or that particular owner also have that I have saved certain money and that has been invested, that should not get into the losses. So every person involved in production are having certain type of tension, fatigue, boredom, we can say different anxiety, insecurity regarding the work and the, we can say, production process. So that particular cost are not included, that particular things are not able to measure, because ये सब हम चीज़ measure कर सकते नहीं है. Simple सी चीज़ है. Suppose you are being made to learn the particular thing without your own opinion or without your own interest, so you will do that particular. Suppose आपने learn कर दिया, आप बैठ भी गए, तो it is not your same interest. You will not having, you are not interested, still you need to watch. Your we can say you don't want to do, still you are made to do. So all this particular thing comes under real cost. तो ये सब चीज़ें, जैसे हमको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा देखने के लिए, हमको we are feeling bored for seeing all that particular thing, or manufacturing production, then tension has been there because there is a pressure from parents, or we can say there are certain anxiety, curiosities, then after uncertainty, like you don't decided to do but still it has been there. So all these factors are there which are being faced by the persons, laborers in the production process, that is again by the investors or capitalistic for investing the money in the company. So all that particular thing is not included in your production cost. मतलब हम जो चीज़ लेते हैं उसके अंदर ये सब चीज़ें का कैलकुलेशन है, तो इट इज़ ओनली द कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन का, how much time it take, how much labor has been charged, and how much profit has been there, everything included, that particular thing is been added, tax and everything. Whereas this particular things are not having any measurement and उसको यहाँ पे लाते नहीं है, but actually that particular thing should be measured, that is the real cost it has been telling up. So real cost cannot be presented in monetary term. हम ये monetary मतलब money term में we cannot calculate it or we cannot present it. So therefore it is called as what real cost is nothing but you can say non-monetary cost. Then after you find that again Professor Marshall says that the factor of production face the real cost and to attract the return in the form of wage, interest and profit. This चलो, तो ये हमने पढ़ा है कि वेज, इंटरेस्ट, प्रॉफिट. वेज किसको मिलता है? लेबर को मिलता है. इंटरेस्ट किसको मिलता है? जो इन्वेस्टर्स नहीं तो जो कैपिटलिस्टिक रहते हैं उनको मिलता है. So on the capital they have invested, they get interest at the end. And lastly the entrepreneur get the profit. So but entrepreneur भी decision लेता है, he takes the risk, so he is having certain tension. Employer is, sorry, not employer, the laborers which are working in the company, you find that they also have certain reasons, certain psychological or mental reasons, physical burdens on them, and then they are doing, so they are keeping all that particular things apart and then they are working in the company. So that particular thing is not included in wages. Same way you find that entrepreneurs, he takes all the risks, that also the profit is given only when there is a more amount of sale is being done, so on that he is getting profit. So all this particular thing in that particular, the concept of real cost says that which all things are been sacrificed by the person or been set apart are not included in the manufacturing cost or cost of production, that is called as what real cost. तो ये सब चीज़ों को छोड़ के एक पर्टिकुलर ह्यूमन बींग एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस करता है, नहीं तो एक लेबर वो काम करता है, वो उसको गिनते नहीं है. So on the basis of that, how much what all things he is having in his mind and he is keeping and still he is doing the work, it is not considered, but it is only considered how much work he is doing for the company or for the manufacturing one. So that is only calculated. So and that real cost says that this particular things are not included in any cost, and that's why it is non-monetary cost. So real cost ये सब बोल रहा है जहाँ पे फैटिग्यू, बोर्डम, टेंशन ये सब कैलकुलेट नहीं करते. आई होप यू हैव बीन गेटिंग. So this is what is happening. And then comes the next topic, that is problems in measuring real cost. भाई क्यों हम measure नहीं कर सकते? Ultimately ये सब चीज़ें क्या है? Real cost includes fatigue, कंटाड़ावेती, boredom, that is the same thing. Pain means some physical or mental pressure, pain, sacrifice and anxiety has been there. So all this particular thing, tension वगैरह रहता है, तो एंग्जाइटी मतलब. सो ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग आप मेजर कर सकते हो? नो, बिकॉज इट डिपेंड्स ऑन पर्सन टू पर्सन, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ योर मेंटल एबिलिटी इज बीन दैट इज वाई इट इज बीन टोल्ड इन द अर्लियर, दैट इज साइकोलॉजिकली. सो ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग साइकोलॉजिकली को ये हम गिनते नहीं है. कोई भी लेबर इज वर्किंग विथ हिज इंटेलेक्चुअल ऑल्सो, नो मैटर फिजिकल वर्क कम है, इंटेलेक्चुअल काम ज़्यादा, आई.टी. कंपनी का है पर्सन. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? स्टिल he need to work on the computer for 8 to 10 hours and do. So this is what is happening up, that real cost talks about this all things, whereas cost of production के अंदर ये include नहीं होता. तो इस वजह से इसको measure नहीं कर सकते, because we cannot say by why that particular person is under fatigue or boredom. So what all things made him to do more, or he gives him the interest to do more work, वो सब चीज़ें नहीं है यहाँ पे. तो ये सब चीज़ we cannot calculate. It is a psychological thing, it cannot be measured. Then after, the goods which have psychological impact are different to measure. Yes, जैसे दूसरी चीज़ जैसे काउंसलिंग वगैरह, साइकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट जिसका रहता है, वैसे वाले गुड्स की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट्स जो हमको बाहर मार्केट में प्रोडक्ट्स मिल रहे हैं, उसके अंदर ये सब चीज़ें इंक्लूड नहीं होता, उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. क्लियर? देन यू फाइंड दैट मोर ओवर the smoke emitted by the factories create adverse effect on the health of the people of the surrounding areas. Yes, simple सी चीज़ है. if there is a company there is a smoke, there is, when if there is a company there is a production, when there is a production there is a large scale of heat and smoke which is been emitted from them. So when smoke is emitted, it is obvious that is it is affecting the environment. So how much, वो भी हम मेजर नहीं कर सकते कि यार कितना स्मोक से कितना एनवायरमेंट हमारे सराउंडिंग में एडवर्स इफेक्ट हो, मीन्स कितना नेगेटिव इफेक्ट हुआ. सो दैट ऑल थिंग्स ऑल्सो कैन नॉट बी मेजर. सो वी कैन से दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग ऑल्सो कैन नॉट एबल टू मेजर इन द रियल कॉस्ट. तो उसको भी गिनो भाई, इसकी वजह से इतना कम हुआ है. सॉरी, like you find that in the 6 months or nearly 6 to 8 months before, you have heard that in Delhi there was so much of smoke and everything, and people started wearing masks. It was not able for not them to go with a simply like this without mask. So this much amount of smoke was been there from the industries which are been there, and the surrounding area was been totally populated. So ultimately ये सब चीज़ अफेक्ट करती है ह्यूमन लाइफ को, बट इट इज़ नॉट कैलकुलेटेड, इज़ नॉट वी कैन से टेकन एनी एक्शन एवरीथिंग. सो ये सब चीज़ें एडवर्स इफेक्ट को भी हमको कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा एवरीथिंग, बट स्टिल वी कैन नॉट एबल टू मेजर बिकॉज it depends on person to person health, person to person psychological effect, so that this particular thing cannot be measured. Again, further you find that this adverse effect is also a cost of social view, and therefore it cannot be measured. Yes, ये socially हमको भी problem करता है. Yes, like I am talking about Delhi, so Delhi people also were suffering from that particular thing last year maybe. So this particular thing happened. So ultimately, the real cost includes what? Nothing but fatigue, boredom, pain, sacrifice, anxiety, where the laborer, entrepreneur, the capitalistic have invested, done production, or taken risk for decision making in the company are not included, and they are not paid according to their particular thing, because it is not able to measure. Because ये सब चीज़ हम measure नहीं कर सकते. हम सिर्फ क्या देखते हैं जो मटीरियलिस्टिक थी. मटीरियलिस्टिक मतलब वी कैन से ओनली द थिंग विच वी आर एबल टू सी इन फ्रॉम इन आवर हैंड, दैट इज़ द प्रोडक्शन. जो लोग ने प्रोडक्ट पर बना के दिया है वो, लेकिन उसके अंदर कितनी मेहनत, कितना टाइम वेस्ट हुआ पर्सन का, कितना दिमाग ये हुआ वगैरह. सो ऑल द टेंशन एग्जाइटी विच इज़ बीन फेस्ड बाय द लेबर और द एंटरप्रेन्योर, इट इज़ नॉट बीन इंक्लूडेड. I hope you have been getting this particular thing. That's why the real cost concept talks about this particular thing. प्रीवियसली वो लोग किस पे फेस थे? दे वर ओनली फोकसिंग ऑन लैंड एंड लेबर, मतलब वो ज़मीन एंड लेबर, बिकॉज इट इज़ एग्रीकल्चर कंट्री. एग्रीकल्चर वी कैन से ज़्यादातर प्रोडक्शन होता था पहले, बट अभी उसके बाद व्हेन द इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन केम्स, यू फाइंड मोर कंपनीज स्टार्टेड. सो फ्रॉम द कैपिटलिस्टिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, मतलब प्राइवेट कंपनीज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखे तो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आर टेकिंग मोर अमाउंट ऑफ दिस रिस्क, एंड दो दे फेस ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग, स्टिल they are only given the profit which has been earned by the company on the basis of that percentage has been given. So ultimately we find that real cost includes all these things which cannot be measured, and it is not included in your cost of production. Remember that ये cost of production include नहीं होता. ठीक है. So next class will start with the opportunity cost. I hope you have been clear with the real cost. Still, if you find any doubt, you can just call or message me. Thank you.